What's up, everybody? Am I unmuted on the Discord? I am. Hey, guys. All right. So, anyone who's been around here for a while from our last open house remembers we had a power hour. It's a little mix of a few different things. It's a little bit of getting to know us, a little bit of trade analysis, and just hanging out, answering your questions. So, two things. First of all, in the chat, in that live chat right there, anything you want to know, ask it. I know Nick, you put a post up earlier. Anything. It could be
Or
about
don't.
stocks, not about stocks. About life, not about life, about kids, about anything. Ask us your questions, guys. Nothing's off limits for the next hour. Maybe. We'll see. And before we get into that, I'm going to ask a stock question that is going to throw everybody off. We'll start with this. And I'll just start in the top corner. Sorry, Ben, you're first. What's your favorite stock to trade of any stock in the market?
Apple.
Apple? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, can I just say very quickly that y'all can still DM me these questions really quickly. I have a few, but I can take
It's
a couple
over, guys.
more.
It's done.
Not too late,
Done.
especially about Lee. Okay.
Done, guys. I ain't answering anything. Guys, you can send me tips and then I will answer for you.
That's hilarious. Okay, so we've got Ben's favorite stock to trade is Apple. How about Bitcoin J? What's your favorite stock?
My favorite stock? Maybe something like Neo. I've made a lot of money on Neo.
Okay. How about
it's
you,
just
Taylor?
something very predictable to me.
I totally disagree with that. For me, Neo it gaps up and gaps down so much overnight that it like scares the shit out of me to trade, to be honest. I never like holding the China stocks overnight right now because you're either way right or you're way wrong. So that's just me personally, though.
I'm gonna be like Bitcoin J and wear my glasses.
Oh, I gotta put mine on too. Hold on. There we go.
Oh, and Taylorish as well. She's got glasses on too.
There we go. All right. What about you, LT? I bet I could guess. Starbucks?
No, definitely not Starbucks.
You remember
I haven't traded in a while.
Play. You remember that?
Yeah, no, it was actually not my first play because I went back and looked and I made sure it was not. Actually, I think I would say Disney, even though I haven't traded in a while. I like where it is right now, like above 85, right above 85. I would say Disney.
All right. How about you, Prime Patrick?
Hey, what's it? Did leave it with Jana. Sorry about that. Somebody at work. Well, I used to be Amazon, which is hence the name Prime Patrick, and then it was GameStop. Right now, it's kind of a flip flop between yin and yang. Those are my two favorite inverses to play of each other.
Not me. I've been burnt on Baba puts 2 weeks ago, and then Baba calls last week. I'm done trying to predict China. Nope. How about you, Mr. SLP, last but not least? Don't worry, I got a different question for Nikki.
ETF, I do like trading SPY.
More than the Q?
I haven't been trading the Q, but if you look at the Q, I think it's a better setup on the Q than the SPY right now.
Okay.
I should switch to the Q. You're right.
All right, Nikki, what is the stock? And I'm going to put you on the spot here where you go, oh, God, I wish they would just give that one up. They keep getting burnt. For members
well, it actually
or us?
did get burnt, but Ebon, I'm sorry, Lee. I know it like still hurts us.
Don't mention that name ever again. Don't mention that name ever again.
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's funny. I remember the weekend.
I was on vacation when that thing just went to crap.
Out of the blue, out of nowhere. And we had really done so well with it for a long time. And honestly, trading it with you, I did end up green overall trading that particular.
I nearly had to downgrade my damn room that night because I lost so much on Ebon.
Yeah, it was his adopted child for a while.
God.
That's so funny. The weekend I started with Penny Boys was, what was the stock that did the reverse split on like a Friday night or an offering on a Friday night after hours? And we went down like 80% over the weekend. I forget what the name of it was. Oh, I can't remember.
I know it. I definitely, it's right there, but I just don't remember. And we had to.
Lee had alerted it, I think.
I alerted it, and then I had to average the hell down on Monday, and then we got out of it with some profit. But it was terrible. Yeah, I forgot what it was. It was an offering like at 9 p.m. You remember? It's like we couldn't even get out of the trade. We were stuck.
And it was like 33 cents after that, and it like floated up to 43, and we got out with some money. I can't remember either, but it was the weekend it started. I remember you were on the stream, you were on the Discord like 10 o'clock at night, like, we'll be fine, we'll average down.
I'm typing away. Everyone calm down. It's gonna be okay. Monday we're gonna average down when it's 80% down. Then we're gonna get out broke even, or we're gonna get out with a little bit of profit. That was terrible. I felt so bad.
That was when I was still such a bashful, innocent trader. And I remember you typing out after hours, I can't believe they did that. That's criminal. And I went, what? They can do criminal things here? That was a lot of learning lessons.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's going to make me crazy now. Oh, well, we'll move on to the next question. All right, I'll let Nikki ask a question now. She's got some questions to ask. We'll flip off here, and then we'll hop into some charts after that.
Okay. Let's see. I had one I wanted to start with for sure because it was excellent. Let me find it super quickly. I apologize.
You're good.
Okay. This is by a member, and in Webull, under the times and sales, assuming that the buys are the green ones and the sells are the red, what does the white color represent?
Who wants to answer that? Oh.
Nikki, they can't hear you on Discord.
I don't understand.
I apologize. I was muted on Discord. I am sorry, y'all. I'll read the question again. On Webull, under the times and sales, assuming the buys are green and the sells are the red, what do the white colors represent? That's from one of our members.
Again, please.
Question one more time. In Webull, under the times and sales, assuming that buys are green and sales are red, what does the white color represent?
It's the prices in between the bid and the ask. Green's above the bid, red's below the ask, and then the white's smack in the middle of them. And ask me how I knew that because Pookie's not on the stream. Can you guess who typed in Google the fastest of all of us right here?
That's awesome. I'm so glad you had to Google what I asked.
It says shares traded
below.
It's
like that mid price. You know, when you get options, you have a mid price.
Yes.
That's exactly it. Shares traded at or below the bid price will be displayed in red. Shares traded at or above the ask price will be displayed in green. Shares traded between the bid and the ask will be displayed in white. And none of us want to say the wrong thing. I did know that. I knew it was like the median. But none of us want to say the wrong thing when we're put on the spots. We all have to double check ourselves. We're human. We sweat under pressure. That was a good one, Nikki. Damn. I don't know if I want to.
That was a good one, right?
We're back in college, guys. You better watch it.
I have another one, and this is from a lifetime member. That's two questions, actually.
Oh, God. All right, I'm ready.
What screeners are used to find stocks and options? That was their first question. So I would like the shot callers to let us know if they even use one.
I mean, I can take the head on
I know a lot of y'all don't.
Yeah, I mean, basically for beginners, I think FinViz is a great screener. It's free. You don't even need an account. So FinViz is a good place to start for a screener. You can filter stocks like that paid certain amount of dividends. You can filter a lot of the fundamental stuff in there. So FinViz would be a good place to start. Once you get a little bit more experience, I like the Thinkorswim scanners personally.
I like to just use a dart and I just aim at my dartboard and I pick whatever one I hit. That's my screener.
And I pick whatever he doesn't, and usually doesn't work out for me.
That's it, bud.
And Taylor picks what we're talking about, and I just pick whatever has the nicest looking green candle on that moment. No, but seriously, for me, I will give you a couple of my little hints. With day trades on options side, particularly, I like to look at whatever has just gone through the earnings cycle in the last week, because it's a double-edged sword with that. First of all, you don't have that you have that IB run up into earnings and it deflates. So you actually get a really great price as the IB starts to tick up again after earnings. And you get some really good action because of earnings overreactions. So you get a lot of really unnatural movement, which if you catch it right, you get great profits on. So for options, and of course for day trades, this is in my super secret lifetime videos, but I like the highest turnover percent, go to 52 week, or I'm sorry, for the previous week, the highest turnover in the previous week. That means the most shares are being bought and sold, highest range in the last week, and then the volume in the last week, those three. And then the top runners for the last day, the last 5 days, the last 30 days. And I compile a couple of my little tweaks to that list, and that's where you'll find a lot of it.
See, I actually do something pretty similar to that. A lot of times after the end of the day, around like 8:30 p.m. or so, I'll take a look and see the biggest gainers and the biggest losers in after hours, and I'll do the same thing in the morning for pre-market. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to play the inverse of that, but it does give me an idea of what ran hot and might pull back, or hey, it looks like bio's running this morning, so let me look at some other bios and see if they're going to also trade in a similar channel. It doesn't always mean I'm going to start taking those plays, but at least gives me an idea of what's hot that day.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that a lot. And of course, I like earnings plays on the run up to earnings, not holding over earnings. And then, your blue chips, a lot of options day traders don't like big spreads. I don't mind it, because if you can get in a good price, because a lot of people playing spreads are trying to fill at a really bad price. So they're selling and they're getting ripped off selling, and you're getting a great deal buying. So if you could, I like to tweak it. That's another little thing I like to do. If a spread, say it's a $4 contract and the spread's 40 cents, I'll go 22 cents below, 18 cents up. So I'll go a couple cents below that, medium point or last sold point, and 9 out of 10 times I could get that fill, get a better entry, and boom, you're up 5 to 10% within a couple minutes if it's going the right way. How about you guys? LT, Jay, anyone? Ben? Any tips or tricks with finding your options contracts?
Yeah, I mean, I basically use deltas a lot. When I'm trying to pick out my strike price, I like using the delta. Number one, it's going to show us how much value the contract changes for every $1 change in the underlying price. So the delta is going to be very important. You should know what the delta is before you buy any option. I want to know if this underlying stock drops $1 or goes up $1. I want to know why. How much it's going to change my contract. I think anyone would want to know that. If you don't know what the delta is and you're blindly buying options, you're kind of missing a little step there, in my opinion. Because me personally, I like to know what it could or could be depending on the change of the underlying stock, right? So that's just a little tip from me, is always look at the delta and the gamma as well. I mean, the gamma is going to tell you how much change in delta there's going to be. All right. So, in theory, you could add the delta and the gamma together, and then that's going to give you a more realistic price on how much the option contract could change for every $1 change in the underlying. So you could actually pre-calculate, if the underlying stock gets to this price point, how many dollars is that from the current price, and then do the math with the delta and the gamma, and you can get a pretty good prediction on what it could be worth when that price movement happens. So
I have a question off that, Ben.
Sure.
Are you the standard range? You like the 0.3 for day trades? 0.3 for swings and 0.25 for day trades, or does yours vary a little bit?
That's a great question, and I've been asked that a lot. Basically, we have to do the math, because we have to compare the delta to how much the total premium we're paying. Because look at it this way: if you got a 30 delta on a $100 contract, right? Then if the underlying stock moves in our favor by $1, we could assume a 30% return there. But also keep in mind a lower strike price that might be trading at $50 You know, if that stock trading at $50, if it only has a 10 delta, which is less than the 30, but do the math with the premium, that's still a 20% return on a 10 delta. So we have to compare the delta to what the premium is, figure out that percentage. And sometimes just because the delta is less, you can still make the same amount of money on a shorter strike if the premium's selling for a certain amount.
Yep. I think that's a step a lot of people in the Discord missed. I know it was taught a light look for this 0.3 delta, but it really didn't make sense if you weren't comparing it to the strike price of the contract or the
premium.
price of the premium of the contract. So how about you, LT? What's some of your do's and don'ts with your Greeks?
Well, I'm echoing on someone's. I mean, it depends on if I'm buying or selling, but I definitely look at the delta. I actually try to buy farther out, even more so than what I'm probably going to hold it for. I usually will do a month out, so there's that. I do like the ones that have a high open interest and a lot of volume because that tells me I can get out pretty quickly. Yeah, and if I'm selling, I might even go, a strike or two beyond what I think that I would typically, see the resistance or the support. So, I mean, it's a lot of different things, but I do like to sell the monthly ones too. So the date is really important when it comes to open interest and stuff. So I do look at that mostly. Yeah.
Right on. Thank you. All right, let's head back to Nikki so we can get our next college exam question. You're muted, girl.
Oh. You're muted, Nikki.
Y'all have to watch me with that. Thank you. I didn't have you turn down, LT. Sorry, in Discord. I had to fix that real quick.
Oh, that's okay.
What's the best way to get on the right side of a trade if the stock has gone beyond stop loss? Like hold or buy more and average down, and then or sell and cut losses. I know that's a huge question.
I can start. I can start with the option. I'll start with the options. All right. I'll answer this as far as day trading options. Lee can answer this for swinging equities, LT for spreads, and Ben for whatever perception he'd like to use. For day trading options when they're weekly contract, the longer you hold, there is no average down. The only time I would personally suggest ever averaging down or holding past a blown stop loss on weekly contracts, if you are assured of a support or resistance line you have pre-plotted that we are coming up on within the next couple percent on the contract price. Because, and I know most of you do know this, especially if it's only a couple days till expiration. If a contract's at break even at $100, an hour later, that contract might be break even at $101. And an hour after that, it could be $102. There's a very fine line there between wishful thinking and chasing down. And I talk the term self-realizing prophecy, meaning you're going to make that chart tell you what you're looking for. You're going to rationalize the chart. Making talks about this a lot, actually, like rationalizing with yourself in the trade and just throwing more money into it or this or that. I personally think with swinging with day trading options, there's never a good point to average down.
I agree with that too. You gotta have a hard stop loss in place for options because you can lose it real quick, So always have a stop loss in for options for sure. Equities is a little bit different because you can look at the next support levels. You can kind of look at the chart to see, is there a place that you can average down? Is there a next support level that you can maybe put a stop at? And also it depends how much you're in a play, to be honest. If you're only in 15%, and you didn't put that stop loss in, then get the paddle out for once and hit yourself. And then secondly, look at the chart and see where the next support level is, and then put a stop in place this time around. Maybe before the next support, you can build a position and maybe average down a little bit. It just really depends on how much of a position you're in at the time, I think. Yeah. Percentage-wise, right? Of if you're in 5% out of the allocated funds that you have for a trade, that's nothing. So you have time to average down if needed. But if you're in 100%, then you need to put a stop loss in place immediately so that you don't lose more, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Absolutely. How about you, Jay, with crypto leverage trading? Is there ever a time you do average down or add a second buy, or are you pretty hardcore with stop losses?
I would say pretty hardcore with stop losses. It's exactly what Mr. SLP said. Like, I think that crypto leverage trading is like, and I have to unmute myself on Discord, I think. Yeah, sorry for that. I'm unmuted now. So yeah, it's same as what Mr. SLP said. I think that crypto leverage trading is quite similar to options in the sense that you can lose a lot of money really quick. So you need that hard stop loss. So yeah, you have to stop out of your place in crypto leverage. Like I will also indeed same thing. If I'm, for example, looking at a NEO stock and I have a trading plan to scale in at 14, 12, 10, and $8, and I'm always looking to buy double at what I had at the previous level, and I get an average, that is something completely different than obviously trading on leverage, like day trades and even swings on crypto. I kind of read the book Trading in the Zone. That was one of the books that really resonated with me a lot, by Mark Douglas. And one of his things that he says is like he didn't really ever average into a play. And I do also really resonate with it a lot. Either you're right or you're wrong on a lot of things. And oftentimes averaging down is like putting more money into a hole. And it's like Ben said, you're just feeding your own mistake. And it's just like, yeah. So stop loss is crucially important. It's inevitable to trading. It's not about not hitting stop losses. You should be like the most value in a stop loss, if you really set it well, is that if your stop loss hits, that's really an invalidation point to something. And if it's an invalidation point to your first trade and your stop loss hits, don't do something for a second, but then look to play the pullback in the other direction. If my stop loss hits, 7, 8 out of 10 times it will keep going in that direction, because I've identified an invalidation on the chart to the point where if that hits, it's likely to keep going. So then you stop out, your risk is like managed, and then your trading plan is to play that second trade after your stop loss. Too many people, they hit a stop loss and there is no follow-up on that. It can be a trigger to a next position that you're then going to take. So stop losses are incredibly powerful, and you got to start mastering them.
And you can also stop out and then just re-enter once it holds the next level of support. So it's basically saving you that money in between, right? So I agree.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's switch it up a little bit. I'm going to ask a couple questions, rapid fire. We're going to go, I'm going to just name off names. We're going to go in random order here. Here, let me find where this starts, and we'll go here. All right, Ben, video games or board games?
I'd have to say video games.
All right. Taylor, French fries or onion rings?
French fries.
Patrick, share food or you don't share your food?
With you, I'll share it all day.
How sweet. OG Nikki, planned or surprise?
Surprised.
All right. Bitcoin J, books or movies?
Books.
Books. Hell yeah. Mr. SLP, roller coasters or water slides?
Roller coasters.
Nice.
On that thrill ride.
Who we going to next? We'll go back to Patrick. Watch sports or play sports?
Neither. I mean, I'm not really a sports guy.
All right. Taylor, loud or quiet?
Quiet.
Nikki, pizza or Chinese food?
Pizza.
All right. Ben, store-bought or homemade?
I have to go homemade with that one.
Yeah.
Very nice. Mr. SLP, tattoos or piercings?
Oh, boy.
They're both regrettable things to do, but I would say tattoos.
As somebody who has a lot of tattoos, what do you mean regrettable? I'm comfortable.
I only have one that you could see on stream. So, Nikki, wine or beer?
Beer.
Taylor, coffee or tea?
Tea.
Lee, drive or passenger?
Drive.
All right.
Drive.
And Bitcoin J, Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
All right. Look, you guys, you're actually
Netflix
looking
and
away
chill.
from your charts
Netflix
for a
and chill.
minute.
That's what he wants.
We got people to look away from a chart for 1 minute. I'm so proud of myself. All right. Big family or small family, Mr. SLP. You're having number 3 soon.
Big family. I want more.
Nice. Patrick, messy or tidy?
Very, very, very tidy.
Nice. Nikki, fast food or health food?
I prefer healthy food.
All right. And finally, we will go for Jay, eggs or pancakes?
Pancakes.
All right. Thank you. All right. I'll come back to some more. I have hundreds of them. So
I'm gonna find you some as well in a second.
Oh God. No. I'm just allowed to ask. Anyway, all right. So what are we thinking? Let's get to the charts for a minute. I think Mr. Big Quench is joining us soon, guys. I'm not sure. He said he would be joining us for Power Hour. We shall see.
So I guess one thing that I'm curious about, I'm sure everybody's got eyes on, is Tesla. I know, Amy, that's your stock, that one of your favorite stocks to play. Obviously, we saw yesterday that Elon said that he would resign as long as he could find somebody foolish enough to take that CEO position. Something that we've avidly been watching for the Twitter spot. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts? Where are we going? How fast are we getting there?
I'll tell you what. For me personally, I think that Lee and Ben are pretty similar thought process here. I don't think we're done falling personally. We could have a pop. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we can't have a pop, because even in this free for all we've been on for the last 60 days, there's been really nice pops within that. I was looking at this wick low here, which is approximately $128 is the first spot I was watching right in this area here. That's what I'm looking at. But I mean, then again, it's Tesla, so it could go either way. The only thing I worry about with Tesla, Lee and I were talking this morning, I was like, is the hype behind Tesla kind of gone? And Lee thinks more like, no, they'll buy again. So what do you think, Lee, about Tesla?
I think they'll buy again. I think everyone's trying to time a bottom here, and we just gotta let it. I think we just gotta let it hit that. Well, it ultimately gapped down to that 137. I think there was a gap on the daily chart we were talking about, Bull. But I think that the max pain, this is my opinion, but I think the max pain could probably be around like 128, 127. Yeah. I think that at least if we keep on falling here, I think right there is where we get a nice bounce. Doesn't mean that we're going to recover all the way up, but I feel like we get a nice bounce there, and then we may come down a little bit more. But I think realistically, we can see a nice upside of probably like 15-20% once we start bouncing. I think from once we find that bottom, I think we could see like 15-20% bounce. I think people still love Tesla. I think as soon as Elon Musk gets out of damn Twitter and he focuses on Tesla, I think that the buyers will come back in. So
I think that they will also. And I think the thing that we all need to remember with Tesla or Twitter or anything is part of the reason that we saw such volatile movement is, Tesla's almost like a meme stock on steroids. It's got a very front and center CEO who drives more off of charisma and personality than anything. And, that knife swings both ways. He's garnered a ton of negative attention, negative reaction, not just from the Twitter deal, but from all sorts of things. And we've seen this happen from Elon over and over and over. But at the end of the day, everybody knows that Tesla, the stock, is a vehicle for some massive gains if timed properly. I think you're right. I think everybody's waiting for that bottom. I'm not going to try to time it, but I'm along for the ride, and it's been a fun ride so far.
You know what? The funny thing is, I think that the Citadel CEO was at the World Cup game with
Ken Griffin.
Yeah, he was with Elon Musk. You can see him like it's not far away from each other, right? Watching the game. So I know that he actually invested in the takeover in Twitter too. I think he spent like 20 million of his own business money to invest in the takeover. But I'm sure he's making it back by shorting down Tesla all the way down. So, he's like, Elon, you're screwing me here, but I'm making money back there.
You know what's funny is like 6 months ago, maybe even a year ago, it came out that that Bill Gates was still holding a very large short position on Tesla, and
Oh, he's loving it.
everybody called Bill Gates an idiot and said, you know, hey, how crazy is he? I'm guessing he's not so upset right now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he thought he was a dummy at the time too, when everything was going up.
It was probably 2 months ago that I had done that it's stream right here on live on our YouTube about why I was bearish on Tesla through the end of the year. And when I did that stream, we were up over $270. So we have literally lost over 50%. If I would have just bought a put then, I wouldn't have had to work for the last 3 months, to be honest, but I didn't even do it either. So what's wild to me is we literally have almost 50% to go to get up to the 200 MA. That's how hard it's falling, which is kind of staggering to me. What a climb we have to get to that 200 MA, which tells me eventually, pretty quickly here, we're going to have to reverse at least some. I can't see. The only thing that worries me about Tesla overall is this: compared to most blue chips, most bigger cap stocks over the last couple years, we are literally 500%. I'm sorry, 700% above.
Hey, Amy,
Yeah.
Can you share your screen on Discord?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
I could do that. Sorry, guys.
Party fail.
Okay.
Also, look at those PE and forward PE ratios for Tesla now, much better than they were. I think the forward PE is 25.
You know, one thing that I'm also interested to see, everybody, you guys all know that I find that follow the China market fairly closely because I like to play those inverse ETFs or leverage ETFs. Is supposedly the numbers coming out of China for Tesla are supposed to be very strong right now. I mean, yeah. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but you know, if the restrictions truly start to end in China and that market turns bullish and that favors Tesla, I mean, that's just going to be one more thing. I mean, I think there's a couple of catalysts that are lined up to make Tesla bounce back fairly fast. But again, I'm not holding a position. I'm a terrible guesser. I'm waiting for confirmation, but
I agree. I agree with you to a point, but here's my other point on this. Where does actual valuation, profit to earning ratio, and the simple fact they're still 700% above what their price was at COVID levels, or even after that, even if we go bullish and we wait till, you know, August of this year, like most of these companies that are just as successful, this and that, have fallen way deeper and way harder over the last couple of years. And part of what pulled Tesla up and held Tesla up was, like you said, that meme stock type quality it has. And where does that no longer supersede just pure technicals and pure profit earnings? I think it was 75 last time I checked. We should be around like 10 to 15 if we believe in this company. You know, those type of things have to come into consideration at some point. And I'm not saying Tesla's coming down to $50. That's not at all what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, when I'm looking through my stocks, like Lisa says, always look at the fundamentals, always look at this, always look at that. Tesla isn't that high on my list right now. Not that I don't believe in the future of Tesla. I think their battery type focus is probably what lures me in more than the actual cars. But at this point, I just simply have other companies I'm more bullish on. Not that they can't pop at any time.
And I definitely, and I don't mean that just to hog the mic, but I definitely agree that there are other way more companies that are more fundamentally sound, more or have more room to recover, because Tesla's still very much up. But I think that Tesla has kind of gotten past the fundamentals, or at least that, when I say getting past it, I think that what drives Tesla's price action is more sentiment and, you know, that almost cult following, one way or the other. I mean, either you love the guy and you want to short him down to death, or you hate him, or you know what I'm saying. Flip that around. But you know, I wonder how much more that controls than fundamentals. Say, like for Ford, you know, nobody's cult following Ford, but they certainly are for Tesla. So I mean, there's definitely a driving force there that other blue chips, maybe outside of Apple, don't have.
That I think that's a great. One of us just popped up in the chat too. Tesla or Apple? I'll tell you what. At the prices right now, I'm going Tesla over Apple. Apple still is being propped up a little bit. I think the Apple's had a lot more. Elon separate from Tesla. Elon's had a lot of FUD. Apple's had a lot of FUD too, though. But Apple's a little more stable. Apple doesn't fall as harsh as some other stocks do. I look at it as Apple's one you just throw in some bucks on here and there. You've got a pretty good bottom on Apple, those type of things. What about you guys? Apple or Tesla? The prices they're at today, which are you putting money in?
Apple.
Also Apple.
Yeah.
Apple
Also
for sure.
Apple.
Yeah, Apple, same.
I just like their fundamentals a lot. They're a lot more sounder, way more stable of a company. There's, with Apple, it's, they actually have something they're selling. The iPhones. They have a product. And I know Tesla, sells the cars, but everyone has a damn iPhone now. I mean, it's not going anywhere. They're the leaders.
Get that Tesla phone right now. Buy a
Yeah.
Tesla phone.
Elon might make one. I heard he might make a Tesla phone, but then we got Apple saying they might make a EV car. Apple had.
Well, and I think one important thing to note when it comes to Apple is they're almost tied to a very similar catalyst or a potential catalyst. China. I mean, Apple took a very large hit not too long ago when Foxconn factory went down and all the protests were happening, and they took a pretty big hit because it slowed their production down. If China does lift their restrictions and just says, "Hey, we're gloves off, let's go bull market," that's going to also help Apple. So I mean, I lean Apple for sure over Tesla.
I leave Tesla. Gotta go for it, guys. Like all or nothing. Tesla. Go for Tesla. If you look at those, YOLO. Follow where the money's going to go, and I think Tesla's going to be long term. Don't forget, it's not just EV technology; they have a lot of things going for them. So I think Tesla long term will start recovering. I think you make more money from the levels that if we compare like Apple to Tesla at these levels, you're going to make more money, I think, off of Tesla.
Yep. I agree with
Lee. Will off of Apple. And if you look at like the debt and everything, Apple has a lot more debt than Tesla does. And there's a lot of things that add up for Tesla over Apple. So I think Tesla.
I think at this price, I agree with Lee. I'm Tesla at this price. They're both the same price. Who would have thought 6 months ago we would have got Tesla for the same price a share as Apple? Like, let's be real. That's where we're at now. Reverse split or not, we're at 135, 138. Very comparable here. So I'm gonna throw a third one in the mix, and that's PayPal. We've had so many blue chip stocks and big cap stocks just decimated. So let's switch it up. PayPal and Facebook. Which one do we like more and why?
Well, that's just another Elon company, so Facebook.
What about you, Ben? Facebook or PayPal?
I'm gonna have to go with PayPal. Especially with where the price is on the chart right now. I think there could be a good opportunity there. You could have a tight stop loss, maybe give it a little bit of room, but literally a tight stop loss, 66, 67 bucks. PayPal looks like the bullets in the chamber and ready to fire here. Now, the good thing with the tight stop loss is if we're wrong, it's tight and we're not really losing much. But the upside, if this bullet fires, at the level, I mean, the last time it was at this level, it went from $67 to $105. Okay, and that wasn't too long ago, everybody. So I'm going to go with PayPal.
That's a great comment right there on the screen. I don't care if it's Apple or Tesla. Your alerts are better.
Oh yeah, thank you guys. All right, what do you think, LT?
Real quick on.
Go ahead, Patrick. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, just real quick on that. Something that I think that we all need to keep an eye on also, and not to continue beating the China drum, but another big thing there. God, I feel like I'm just all China right now. Is the potential TikTok ban? They go back and forth. Are we going to ban it? Are we not going to ban it? Are we not going to ban it? Blah blah blah. And there's a bipartisan initiative right now to get it fully banned. And several states are actually looking to ban this. And a lot of government officials are no longer even able to have it. If TikTok is officially banned, I think that's really going to help push stocks like Snap, but also like Meta, because they have those short videos, those short clips. Those are the two spots to get on this Meta and Snapchat right now. So I think if TikTok does get down, that could definitely be a bullish indicator for Meta.
I would agree with that. I think that's a great point made. I'm more PayPal a little bit, simply because to me, I look at PayPal, I look at Meta. PayPal's like kind of something we need. Everything's is banked, is wired, is transferred. It's all electronic nowadays. And PayPal is something affiliated with like financial institutions, your money, this and that. Where I tend to see Meta more as like an entertainment type. I don't know, like you look at you look at Zuck and you look at Elon. It's like you look what's happening to Tesla. And last year it was Zuckerberg just absolutely destroyed the stock, destroyed this and that. I feel like at these levels today, I'm going PayPal. Who we got? Who else we got? Jay and
All right.
You guys have been
I got
quiet.
something simple. Can you hear me?
Let's do it. Yes.
Okay, so something simple. If you look at the chart, I love PayPal's chart because we got this support that formed obviously in July, right? 67 and change. We're holding that level. And if you go all the way back to 2017, you see that back in December 2017, it bounced right off this level too. So I think pretty strong support around 67 and a half. If it drops below that, then I'd probably get out of the trade. But I think the risk reward here makes sense for PayPal because the last time we saw a bounce, if it holds 67.50, it went all the way back up to $100. So I feel like if you put stock just below 67 or 66, say, I think the reward is much more outweighs the actual risk here. Makes more sense. 2017 levels, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is. And the double, it's almost perfect double bottom right where we're at right now. And like Lee said, Mr. SLP said that the risk reward is there. You've got your like a 10x risk reward on that. Easy from where you're planning on holding. I mean, these stocks this is 80% down. And this is like this is 80% down. That's pretty substantial, guys. And these are good companies. PayPal's not going. And that's the thing. The companies we're talking about today, they're not going anywhere. None of these companies are going anywhere. PayPal, Tesla, Apple. I'd be hard pressed to find any of them going anywhere anytime soon. So I think that it's really good to talk about these at this level because as much fear and FUD as we've had in the market lately, there's an upside coming, guys. And like
Amazon, come on. Look, just like Matster said, Amazon, man. I mean, you're going to be kicking yourself if you don't build a position in Amazon long term. You're going to be looking down the line 5 years, say, why did I not buy some?
Yep, that's true.
So
Absolutely.
I think if you can get it 75 to like $81 around there, if it ever comes down that level, I just eat that up.
Amazon or Google? That was Matster's question.
Amazon.
I'm Amazon too.
Amazon. Yeah.
For sure, Amazon.
Didn't they just get a huge deal, like a huge government contract deal for like $900 million just recently? I think it was a couple of days ago. People probably just breezed right over it, but they just announced like some big contract through the government. So I'm all about it. Amazon. What about Quench? He's backstage. Let's get Quench up here.
I'm going to have to go with Google. It was between Amazon and Google, right? I'm going to have to go Google.
Get out of here.
Yeah, no, I think their PE ratios are a little more realistic here compared to Amazon's PE ratios are still pretty inflated. But that's just my opinion. Who cares about me?
Austin's getting a little bit. We'll have him on in a second, guys. He's getting some tech. Oh, there he is.
I was just getting this shared out. How you living?
Living the dream.
Hell yeah. So let's ask you, Amazon or Google, what are you loading up on at this level?
Amazon or Google?
Yeah.
Oh, Google.
Ooh.
Thank you, Quench. Thank you, Quench.
Google. I mean, they're both quality. I mean, you don't lose either way, but Google. You can't defeat Google. You just can't. You can't beat it. You can beat Amazon. Amazon's dying. Amazon's quality has become shit. I'm not a big Amazon guy. Do I use it for convenience? Yes. Did they buy Whole Foods? Was that genius? Yes. Are they ever going to go away? Probably not. But cyclically, I think that Google still, I would say Google. Now, here's the difference, right? It's like,
hey, Quench, can you jump into Market Talk on Discord?
Yeah.
They're all saying they can't hear you.
Good.
Okay.
Maybe I want to be heard, man.
All right, he's coming on over, you guys.
Yeah, hold on.
Sorry about that.
It's always so complicated. Then I got to mute everybody.
Sure do.
I'd hate for you to just be talking to yourself.
It's tough, right? It's tough being you.
It is tough being me. This is such a pain in the ass.
He's on the way, you guys.
It took us 10 minutes just to get technically set up to go here. We know.
Yeah, we need somebody whose whole job is just to figure this out, get it done. All right, I think I muted everybody. Oh, okay. All right. All right now. So, looking at the Google chart, which why don't you go ahead and pull that up now?
We have to mute him as well in the Discord, guys.
Yeah, you got to mute me. Mute away. But why don't you go ahead and pull that Google chart up?
Oh, there we go.
Actually, why don't I go ahead and pull that Google chart
good.
up? That's what I'm thinking.
And then if you do that, Quench, make sure to share your screen on Discord.
I got it shared on Discord too.
Okay, cool. There we go.
Beautiful. All right. So you look at this Google chart. This is what you need to look at. It's this weekly, right? So this thing has just been a behemoth that has not stopped. You look at growth potential for any company, right? Like, what does Google have that nobody else has? Control over everything. Everything. Google is the internet. And I know Duck, I don't know if he's here, but he'd play Web3, man, and he would argue with me, but I don't think that matters. They have built the infrastructure of the internet, period, plain and simple. No one has been better. No one will be better. What they have done cannot be done again. They were the single entity that had done it, and no one else will be able to match it. So, from a positioning standpoint, in any market, like you have to create demand and then scarcity, right? Or you have to meet demand, create scarcity. That's exactly what they've done. They hold all leverage, all of it. The government's already proven they're not going to do shit. They're just bowing down, and they're going to keep doing that because Google has access to more data than anyone. Now, Amazon data centers, brilliant, which is why Amazon won't go anywhere. Had they not done that, and AWS not become what it is, Amazon would suck, and Amazon would have cratered into nothingness. I think Amazon will evolve, and I'm honestly, like, it scares the shit out of me to think that either of these companies may at any point merge with each other or become one. That would be truly horrifying, but it's possible. Now, as far as the chart goes, this Google chart is exceptional. If you look here, like, we've found like long-term trend support from what, 14, 15. Can this go lower? Absolutely, because right now, like, from a macro perspective, money is going to be very expensive for the next 10 years. That's a problem for growth companies like Google. I think that it's so weird because, like, you know, Eddie used to always say it, that like the economy and the stock market are entirely disjointed, and then at times they come together. But like, what does that mean, and how do they relate to each other? Truth is, we've gotten to a point where I don't even know the difference. I don't really understand if they're connected, if they're not. Like, it's just madness. I think we're existing totally and completely off of sentiment, which is like why retail can move markets in a sense, because I think that like institutions can tip their hand and they can start the movement, and then retail panics and reacts and then over exaggerates the movement. That's why everything is more extreme. Because where you'd have an institution say, fuck this company, I don't like it, this is terrible, they're trash. And yeah, it sells off 10, 15%, right? But your advisor stands between you and your money. And most of the time, those advisors will tell you just to hold on. Now that so much of these funds are self-directed, panic sell it all. Oh shit, it's all going bad. Oh my God, I'm screwed. This is a terrible idea. What am I going to do? And then everyone just dumps their position, which adds like way more liquidity to the market than anybody wants, right? It exaggerates any and all price movements, and it just creates this kerfuffle in which people don't know what to do anymore because the market is moving far more than they anticipate. So when I think of all that in conjunction with like, what is this company going to do for me and how are they going to grow? It's Google all day, every day. Because number one, I don't think retail can move that market enough. And the beauty of it is like their market dominance isn't as reliant upon consumer spending as Amazon. Consumer spending is going to continue to go down. We are an entirely consumer spending driven economy. I want to say it's like 75% of our economy in the U.S. is driven by consumer cyclical spending. Google is not. In a sense, they are if you look at like AdWords spending and stuff like that, which is like their core revenue driver. But they've expanded so far into everything else that all they need to know is that companies will always spend money. And you look at like health, wealth, and happiness, right? 3 industries that have only grown over the last 5-10 years and will only grow over the next 20. They are also 3 of the biggest spenders as far as ads publishing goes. So I think Google is like much better positioned to have strength. And if you just look at the chart, plain and simple, on the week, like Amazon is not holding a 10-year trend line like Google is. And they are for a reason. I think because the market knows. It knows. So Google for the win. 100%.
I love it.
I kind of wish I didn't. I'm pissed I didn't sell more Amazon, to be honest with you. Like, is it a buy at $50? Yeah. Is it a buy now? No. No, thank you. And I had it. I don't know how to adjust this based on the split, but all I know is I was up 175%, and I had a lot of it, and I didn't sell it, and I'm kind of pissed. So that's that. Don't own a lot of Google though. But it's like Google is becoming defensive now, I think. I think like internet infrastructure companies is the new value defensive. That's just my opinion.
All right, let's circle back to the other one we were talking about right before you jumped on. We've got another one. We've got Tesla or Apple at these levels.
Pass.
Well, I was a pass on Apple right now, to be honest.
No, pass on Tesla.
Well,
he's dumb. Like, I get it. Because, like, dude, come on. If somebody was like, hey, Austin, you want to buy Twitter? Yes. Like, if I could afford it and I could have that power and control, yes. Take it. Ego trip, though. Now, I do think there's a touch humanitarianism behind it. Like, I do think he wants what's best. Do I think that he has the capacity to think that big? No. And do I think any one person has that capacity? No. Like, Twitter should be treated like a democracy, but like, will it ever? Probably not. Because like, I don't trust democracy either. I trust private business more. I trust my own ethical compass more than anybody else. But like, can everyone say that? I don't know. And then can they follow through? I mean, some of the shit he's released, some of the shit he's uncovered is interesting. Like, why was the government subsidizing Twitter to suppress information? Like, nobody knew that. That's good to know. That's information that should be public. I love that. He's done a service to society. But like, as far as the stock market's concerned, like, it's really hard to say yes to Tesla when you know his head's not there.
Yeah.
Because like somebody was saying earlier, they believe in him. And I think that was kind of a fundamental error on his part. You know what I mean? Bird in the hand or 2 in the bush. I think he kind of, his eyes got bigger than his appetite. And I don't think they really thought that through and how much it would slay Tesla's market cap and like really destroy one of the, like in my opinion, like one of the strongest consumer sentiments in any company, totally devoid of any of their economic faculties. Kind of didn't matter what they did. Everyone believed no matter what. Earnings are down. We lost a ton of money. Fuck it. We don't care. Buy more. Like no one cared. He kind of had a good deal going there. And so like, that's my worry is that like, if he can't convince those people, the Tesla diehards, because like, I think they were Elon diehards. And then I think they've kind of slowly moved over to like the which is what it should be. That's leadership, right? It began to pioneer an idea of changing the world. And people that believe in that idea of changing the world now kind of feel like they got sold a bad bag of goods because his focus isn't there. And if he's the one driving it, then what the hell are we going to do now? So absolutely. I don't know. Bring Steve Jobs back from the dead.
That's kind of exactly what we were talking about a little bit, is just the self-sabotage. For me personally, we were talking about this, Lee and I, in the Twitter spaces as well, a couple months ago, how for me personally, like if I had to choose between like EV or charging this or that, I'm much more into a lot of the charging companies, mining companies, that type of thing, because with the market tightening up the way it is, and consumer spending and so on and so forth, I have a lot more faith, even though I'm reading this comment that Kramer was saying this too, but I do have a lot more faith in like Ford EV, these established companies that have been through these periods of Great Depression and consumer tightening and this and that. So for me, I'm not too bullish on any of the newish EV, even though Tesla isn't newer. What do you think in general, EV, Lee? I want to ask you that.
Quick question. What do you think that guy smells like?
Who?
Kramer. Don't you feel like he has some sort of very specific odor? Am I the only one that
shows like cucumbers from his garden and shit? That's what I would be.
He's always like playing with tomatoes. Maybe he should be a damn like farmer instead of a trader, because he said buy Coinbase at 400. Buy. And what's it at now? $30.
Him and Kathy.
$30 dead. How is he still there?
Him and Kathy both did it.
God. Disaster.
Well, Kathy is the biggest advocate of cutting rates instead of raising them. Kathy is screaming for rate cuts now, and I don't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah, she needs it. It's true. She needs it.
Quick 2 seconds for those of you that are taking that Netflix trade. Perfect bounce. We covered the short. We got a nice little back up. Win. You should be up 50% overall or more.
Nice.
Mind your profits, child.
March.
That panned out well.
Hell yeah. All right. So with these ridiculous levels a lot of stocks are at, where no one really thought we would get to these levels, or we thought so, but we were kind of like in denial, whatever it might be. What's your top pick of a safe stock? Like, what is a stock you've been kind of watching? Not that it's necessarily time now, but what are you really liking at these levels? Anyone?
I'd have to go with Intel. I like Intel right here. Absolutely. And, if you kind of look at the daily chart and you kind of zoom out a little bit, it really held the $24, $25 area pretty well for the last over 2 months now. We got 60 days of price action data to go by, and it doesn't like being down there by 24, $25. And it's only trading around 26.77 right now. I like Intel long term. I really do. It went downhill with the bulk of the tech sector in 2022. But tech's not going to go down forever, folks. And usually the one that was hit the hardest, the sector that was hit the hardest, it sometimes can be the first to recover, when we do start recovering. So we'll see what happens. But I like Intel in the mid $20 area.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. And also it takes a while to get up there, but once it moves in a good direction, you're going to make some nice gains. And also it has dividend, right? Doesn't it have a dividend?
Yes. Yep. It actually pays almost a 6% dividend, about 5.5% dividend. So you could easily make some passive money on your shares while you're waiting on the turnaround. And this would be a long-term hold, folks. I'm not talking about day trading Intel tomorrow. Okay. I might, you could start accumulating some shares. And then, my plan would be to hold it longer than a year. That way we get the tax break on the long-term capital gain tax rate there. So.
Right on. What about someone else? What else?
I like Disney right now, around the $85, $87 area. It's about where it was at COVID levels. It's a really good time to pick it up, I think.
I like that too. Disney's a good one. I think Disney, if you just accumulate it slowly, right. I think we may see it in this. We may see it in the $80 range. I think like $79, $80 range. We may see it there, but I think the upside potential they haven't slowed down. Everyone uses Disney Plus. Everyone wants to go to their theme parks. They got the best theme parks in the world. And they keep raising rates and everyone's paying. So I think Disney long term isn't such a bad bet from here for sure. I agree. Taylor. That's a good one, Taylor-ish.
I'll throw you a
I'm on
curve
board.
here.
I'm on board with you. Let's do it.
What you
Here's a
got for
curve
us?
for you. You guys looking at OTC stocks at all? SIRC. SIRC is a USA solar panel company. They manufacture them, they sell them, they install them. They did 84 million last year. They're now at 150 million with one more quarter to go, and they are so undervalued and have been falling for so long. I think this is a great stock to consider. Again, for a long hold, I wouldn't be trading this on a day trade or a short swing, but I think the company's got value. And sitting here in America, the way we're thinking about invest in America, invest in green energy, this company's sitting right in the middle of the breadbasket.
Jersey, are you on Discord? I don't know if they heard you there.
I don't know. How do I get on
Jump into Discord?
Go to the voice channel and premium here in Market Talk.
Oh boy. Let me see. All right. Over here at Discord.
All right. Who else has some picks for us as far as levels you like in these stocks at right now?
I do have a stock that I like a lot.
Yes.
And that's MicroStrategy. I really, really, really look at this on a daily time frame, and this is kind of the closest that you would come to accumulating Bitcoin at these levels is MicroStrategy, because obviously they're a big holder. And on the daily time frame, I like MicroStrategy for the simple reason that they didn't put in new yearly lows from the lows in May. So while Bitcoin is making new lows, MicroStrategy is holding higher lows here. That is, to me, a sign of strength. I don't think that they can
What
get
is it?
liquidated.
What's
They
the
are
ticker?
MSTR.
I knew it was.
Oh,
I
yeah.
MSTR.
Ooh.
I always thought that was
Nice setup.
Mastercraft, like the boats. So I never understood what people were talking about when they'd mention it, and they would talk about like tech and crypto. I'm like, what the hell?
I
This
like
is
it
actually
especially.
nice here.
I like it especially above 220, which is the last lower high there. But if you look at it, Bitcoin made lows in June, and those kind of correspond with those May, June lows on MicroStrategy. And then Bitcoin is now losing support, and MicroStrategy is holding a higher low there. That is just something that looks good to me. A higher low is a higher low, and that is a sign of strength until it's not. And then it's very easy to cover your risk on that one.
Absolutely.
If it loses that low, you just get out, right? And then you look at targets to the downside, which if you're in the Discord, I'll give you those. Absolutely.
All right. What do you think of Bitcoin, Mr. Bitcoin J? What are you thinking? Are the bottoms in? What's your analysis through, say Q1 of 2023? What's your thoughts?
So I've been talking about that for almost a whole hour earlier. I think many people probably caught that. I have targets to the downside for Bitcoin, and my kind of invalidation to more downside, and when I think that you can say with like a good degree of confidence that the bottom is in, is actually a weekly candle close and holding a week above $21,500 from there. I think it moves back to 25.2 really quickly. But anything below that is still kind of, you don't know. It could still come lower, but we laid out some analysis saying that the lower we come in this bear market, the higher the projected targets in the next bull run. So if we drop to 14K or 12K or 10K, well, if you come to 10K, the next bull run high will be higher. So short term, it looks like, damn, we're coming down lower and lower, and this is 0-0. But really, in the macro time frame, like the lower you come here, as long as you don't lose the COVID lows, you're gonna come to 150 for sure, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Have we gone over earnings yet? Because there's 2 earnings that I'm interested in tomorrow pre-market.
What we got?
CarMax and Paychex.
I hate Paychex.
I
hate them
know,
so
me
much.
too.
Like, I hate them. They do my payroll. I hate them. I hate them so much. It's the worst kind of world.
I used to use them to do my payroll for my staff in Florida. They were trash.
Yeah. So let's
I'm curious with Carvana, how is CarMax going to perform?
Oh, CarMax? I mean, Carvana is really something else, man.
Now, I've only had one experience with CarMax ever, and it was the last car that I bought my wife, and it made it literally maybe about 10 miles down the road before the transmission blew, and then they tried to refuse to take it back and said that there was something that we had done wrong on it, and when we ended up fighting them on it, and they finally caved and said, all right, we'll give you credit for another one, which I told them to explicitives there. So bearish. I'm bearish.
I think this one's pretty easy to do. You got some options. Buy it here, tight stop, or wait. I've been liking these fixed risk trades. I think that's the way to go right now. Is you find somewhere you can buy, you can bet the farm, you have your risk defined right off the bat. Your upside is essentially unlimited depending on where you're willing to go with it, but you're not capped on the upside, but the risk is very clearly defined. That makes the most sense. And I don't like CarMax, so I don't like CarMax. Just make sure that's heard. I'm just saying I like trades where we can do this, because you got really two little tight ranges that this is either going to trade within sideways, but again, you'll still be green if you scoop these bottoms, or it's coming back down to $25, down to oblivion. I think fundamental is the way to play this. I want to know cash balance. I want to know burn rate, because at the end of the day, if money's more expensive to get, companies that are going to need more borrowed money are not going to function as well. Margins will be shrunk, and they're going to contract, which means they're going to be valued less than they are right now, no matter what.
Agreed.
Same. Tonight we've got Micron, Quippet, and Miller Knoll. I don't know anything about either of those except for Micron.
This one's interesting. Who wants to play a little Micron Lotto?
Oh, Daddy does.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Come on now. All right, let's take a look at this. How'd the last couple earnings go? I don't even think I have them on here because that little E always bothers the pay.
What's the ticker, Quench? I'll look it up.
MU.
MU. Okay, let's take a look. I'll let you know.
Here, take that over. Go ahead and pop on the NASDAQ site. Let's breeze through those earnings. That's the ticket.
Okay. All right. Let me.
John, I like your new setup. Looks crisp. Fancy.
Bunch of curtains, buddy. Just a bunch of curtains. Appreciate it, though.
Okay, so I like using tip ranks just for
whatever.
Quick. Yeah, it's just a bird's eye view of the earnings, to be honest with you. So we type in Micron right there. Now you guys can find this at tipranks.com. I'm not even logged in, and it's free information here. So as far as EPS, looks like they normally beat EPS. They beat EPS the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8 quarters. They beat EPS, so that's good. Let's see here, and that also reflects in this chart right here, the earnings history. When I scroll down, you can see they've beaten the EPS all these times, dating back to September of 2020. So pretty good there on Micron. Now we can look at earnings related price changes. So these are the last four earnings that have happened, and this website gives us what the percentage change in the stock was the day after they released earnings.
Hey, can you click show more?
This is where, okay, there you go. Yeah, so we got some more. As you can see, a little bit of a mixed bag. This earnings here, December 19, 2021. They went up, they were up over 10% the next day. The most recent earnings, they were green the next day. So that's a good sign there. Maybe that could be the start of a trend. So, got some good history here. So a little
if
bit
I
of a
was
mixed
playing
bag.
the roulette wheel, I'd see that red, red, green, red, red, green.
Yeah, kind of forming a pattern, right? Yeah. So what else you got? This is the history on price changes one day after earnings. So last time it was green, and we had 2 reds before that.
The last 30 days,
They beat on all those, is what you're saying.
Yep.
But they don't really see that reflected in price really at all.
No, not so much. Which, as we know, that could have something to do with forward guidance or revenue misses. This is all EPS data, most of it. So
if you look at the chart, the last two earnings, we kind of bottomed out right at earnings, and then we uptrended for the next 30 days following it. Nice little pump.
Yeah, that's a good point, Amy, right here. Yeah, we had earnings here, and then following the earnings, nice little pump up.
That's magical.
Yeah. Oh, wrong chart. MU. There we go. Okay, I got some stuff on here from before. Let me take that off here. Yeah, right here. So we got earnings. This was the last one here back in September, and had earnings and paid a dividend, and nice pump up to $64 there. Same thing happened back here. If we're looking at price action, we had earnings. This was the earnings from June, late June. They reported, followed back to back with the dividend. So I do like that dividend, Quench.
They've all been adjusted down. I just went on the NASDAQ website, all adjustments. So fiscal quarter end for 2022, 3 estimates down, none up. Fiscal year, August 23, 3 down, no up.
Gotcha. But yeah, nice.
So I guess that's the struggle with earnings is it's really going to come down to forward guidance, because at the end of the day, they adjust it down, price reflects in the market. Then they come out with earnings and say, hey, we were wrong. We underestimated. We're definitely going to grow more. You're going to see price reflection. And that's when those earnings plays really pay off.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But yeah, Micron looks good for possible bullish after earnings.
I want to gamble.
On the last
I'm ready for a gamble. I need a gamble in my life.
Meet me at the Hard Rock Casino.
I need a little taste. No, fuck casino.
I'll give you the VIP treatment.
This is my casino.
See, I go to the casino to gamble. I trade stocks like a business. So if I ever get the gambling itch, Hard Rock Casino is about 15 minutes from me. I'll go play some roulette or craps.
There you go.
Yes, sir. All right, what else we got?
Let's look at Moderna.
Moderna. There we go. Been on a nice little rally lately since they hit the bottom at $115 in early October. Lots of buying coming in. What's your opinion on Moderna, Quench?
Look at that. Hit that weekly for me.
Yeah, let's get to some bigger time.
That was a hell of a buy right. That was a hell of a buy right down there.
Yeah, it was. And it broke.
I missed that one. I'm sorry. I don't, for everyone that's looking at this right now. I don't know how I missed that.
Look at that resistance. It just plowed right through today.
Yeah, that's just a hell of an opportunity. What a setup. Look at that. 120. Come on.
Yeah,
free money.
Yeah, hit its head. And
I'm disappointed in all of you too. I just want to share that. No one found this.
You could have played
it's not my fault. It's everyone. It's Nikki's fault. Top of the list. Nikki, you failed. You're supposed to be the Moderna guy, and you just didn't even see it.
This would have been an easy bottom bounce play here. Bounced off 115 before, and we had a third chance to take it for a ride from 115 to 195, folks. This would have been close to 100% return.
That was such a good setup.
I know. It was sitting there waiting on it. So look, Quench, as
soon as you see that doji. The reason why also is because they had great news out recently for one of their cancer candidates that can treat one of the cancers. Cure it or something. So that's why.
Yeah, that's good news for them.
It's not just COVID anymore. They got another source of income.
Yeah, they evolved, man. They're becoming a behemoth. And now that we've already engaged in that price discovery, we know where it could go. All right, so let's take a look at this. I'm such an idiot. I had it marked 120. Buy this. Don't be dumb. Why didn't I? Why? Tell me why. Tell me why. I had it marked.
Yeah,
Jersey, how did I miss this?
I don't know, Charlie Brown.
You're supposed to slap me. Damn it.
For that.
All right, so I do have Nikki for that.
Next time, just let us into your platform. We'll look at it for you next time.
Where's she going? Where's she going? Where's she going, huh? Where's she going? Where's Moderna going?
Well, if it holds 195, I think it keeps going higher.
Let's mark that down. Because I agree. I mean, you've got that massive, look at that weekly. You got that massive bullish engulfing.
Oh yeah.
Like, look at that. That candle's just eating it all. But you're right. Like, ideally, I'd love to see it come down to, like, honestly, I'm good with like above 187.
Yeah.
Like, if I get like a 190, a little taste of that 190 life, that's something you could, I think you could shoot for 240, 250.
Well, they tried to pull it down. Look, they tried to pull it down on that last candle, but it got eaten right up.
It got pushed right back up. Yeah. And just the price action shouting at us right off the screen. We got this selling pressure, all these big red candles, get a couple greenies in the middle, but sellers take back over control. And then boom, look at that doji candle right there. I got it highlighted in white right here. Right there. Yep. That doji candle. And then we get this next green guy after that. That would have been my entry. Yeah, right in the 120s, Quench. That would have been my entries, right in the 120s. And then boom, take that baby for a ride.
Let's take a little look at Netflix here.
Okay.
Pop that on up there. Zoom on out. Go ahead now.
Zoom on out.
Go ahead now. Zoom on out.
Look at this fish hook. Ooh.
Yeah, this thing is this is interesting. We've played this perfectly through this trend channel, so we're good. I'm interested in opening another one of those bull put spreads pretty soon. I want to watch how it kind of navigates through this channel, but just collected for those of you that were watching, those just expired completely worthless. I forgot what strikes were. I don't know. 2 weeks we made 100% return on zero risk. It was wonderful. Yep. And I think we're going to continue to be able to do that. I really have been enjoying that strategy. Yeah. If she's here?
Quench, we'll have to dive a little more into that after the new year and really, really let them know,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, so we have our long term, we have our leaps, right? And then we traded that from bottom to top of channel. We're up 35, 40%. And then we opened up the short to create the vertical, right? So we sold the strike right above. Bing, bang, boom, done. That was at like 330. We traded that down to the bottom of the channel. The beauty of that is that because of the IV at that time, that short was inflated ridiculously. I made more money on the way down than I even did on the way up. And by the time we got to the bottom of the channel, I was break even on the long. I made 1,500, 35% on the way down on the short. And now I'm up 20% again on the long for net value reflected as 50% ROI. But the risk is, I mean, that's the beauty of these trades is like capital risk is half. So as long as that long is net positive or is above net negative 50%. So this thing could drop 50% and we're still in the green.
Yeah.
Beauty. And selling these spreads all the way up to lower that capital contribution even more.
Yeah, rinse and repeat the selling of the short legs. Rinse and repeat those before you know it. Your long leg is 100% free of charge.
Yeah, exactly.
You're basically financing the long leg by selling short legs constantly over and over again.
It's just delightful.
It's beautiful, man.
It's a delightful experience. I'm really glad you were all about it.
I just got.
I was about it, but I was like, it seems kind of boring. But once I see the checks coming in for doing nothing, it's like, holy shit, I have renters.
Yeah,
but there's no maintenance.
100%.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I think that this channel maintains here for a little while. And I think as long as we stay within it, I'm happy because that long leg's going to keep paying out. Like our true struggle point is this. We just tested it, that 330. That's when we took some profit. Because remember, we bought shares between 230 and 240, right? Those were up $100 a share. So almost 50%. Equity sold about 40%, holding the rest, made good money. We've got the long leg. We've been buying, selling. We've got that cost basis down 50%.
Yeah,
so
amazing.
Beautiful. And now what do we do from here? And I don't think the answer is open any more longs. I think it's maintain that one long because it's an expensive long. And we continue to play that short. When we come up above 315, open that short back up.
Yep, exactly.
And then we'll bounce back down unless we just surge above 330, at which point close that thing as fast as you can, because we're going to keep riding, in my opinion, up to 360, 350, and we're going to be good to go. And for those of you that have been following this, I've been talking about this trade for literally months, for like 6 months, from when we were down here at like $178. I hope you guys saw it. I said over $200 and we're gone. We crossed that, so we've been buying it since there. We still have gap opportunity, and this is crazy, right? But like up to $500.
Look at this. Yeah, I just switched back to the daily, but first gap is around the 330 area, like you mentioned, Clench. We got another gap up here, $505. Huge.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm looking to trade those ranges because, like, my next range that after we get above 330 with stability, it's another $50 move to 381. That's when I'll probably open another long. Like, we just want to be disciplined here. Larger positions, but of them, we want to be more. Beautiful.
Huge potential there. I love it.
Beautiful. Jay, what's your deepest fear?
My deepest fear? That's a very good one. I guess losing family or my girlfriend. Yeah, losing people around you that you've always been acquainted with, like being around, and then them. And that's a big fear. Probably the fear of losing money is a deep fear that is just rooted within all of us, also just as humans. It's just about how much you control that. But I guess that's also a fear.
Yeah,
I'm aware of that.
Interesting. Good answer. If you could be any animal, mythical or otherwise, what would it be? Bitcoin's not an animal.
Unmute on Discord, Jay.
It's been a beast.
Unmute on Discord. Yeah, just a second. Let me think about which animal I would be.
Mythical or otherwise, be adventurous.
I'm just gonna
anything your heart desires.
Unmute myself here. Find myself. Where am I? Market talk. Unmute. What animal? Let's say a fox. Just a fox.
Ooh.
Cunning. A cunning fox.
I like that. Patrick.
Yo.
Any animal, mythical or otherwise?
Obviously, I'm going to be a dragon, bro. I'm going to be a big old dragon.
Beautiful. What's your greatest regret?
Greatest regret? Oh, God. Getting complacent after I got out of the Army. I spent a lot of years just not being hungry, not being motivated. I spent several years just getting fat, getting lazy, getting old.
The dream. Interesting. You had that one cocked and ready. You've been thinking about it today.
I'm not complacent anymore, baby. I'm always ready.
I know. I'm saying, but you were. That was top of mind, man. You were aware. You were prepared to answer that question.
What about you? What's your biggest fear?
Oh man, letting everybody down.
That's a big one.
Definitely. I mean, I think it's always letting myself down. I don't think like really anyone can function outside of the selfish perspective, but it's interesting because it's like Marcus Aurelius always talked about how like at the end of the day, we only truly care about ourselves more than anyone else. Yet the opinions of others tend to outweigh our own.
Or sure. I mean, it's kind of like the age-old thought, like, is charity truly altruistic? I mean, are you giving charity because you want others to do good or to do well, or are you doing it because you want yourself to do well? Are you afraid of letting others down, or are you afraid of letting your own ego down? I mean, it's
that argument's been out there a long time. Doing good is selfish. Well, you know what? Without that motivation, the good wouldn't get done. Of course we do it because it makes us feel good. That's why we do anything.
Yeah. And I think that honest admission is what makes it true good, because it's truthful rather than like, you know, and I went through that, like, especially with all the all the stuff we do for addiction, nonprofit space. It's like, there was a while when I genuinely believed like, man, I am just, look at me, huh? I'm selflessly sacrificing. When it's like, that's bullshit. I did it because it made me feel great. And because guess what? I was a better person because I did it.
Yeah.
It was all
You
about
really
me.
think martyrs feel bad about being martyrs?
No, it's a thrill. It's a thrill to jump on that grenade.
Facts.
For a second, half a second.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that's the crazy part with I don't know, life. You look at trading. I mean, that's why I like this, because I've learned more about myself from playing with money on a digital interface than most things, because it's you and you. Nobody else to blame. You know what I'm saying? Some of those losses that were so gut-wrenching, or even worse, some of those missed opportunities, I'm more pissed about missing that Moderna trade than I am about any of the losses I've taken in the last couple months at all. I don't care about them. Number one, because they were defined and practical, but number two, because something happened. I didn't miss it, right? It's like we would rather experience painful or pleasurable than miss out at all. And I think that's like the bane of the existence in those that want to learn to trade. I guess those that want to be good at money, because I think like that's what we do here. Is like we help you become better at money. It's not trading. It's just being better at money, being better to yourself, for yourself, being more disciplined, more measured, more practical. Anybody seen House of Cards, like Kevin Spacey?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like the ultimate pragmatist. Everything he did, he didn't give a shit about anything other than getting ahead and getting to the objective, right? I think you can operate that way without being a sociopath, obviously. But I think you can treat this the same way. It's like my objective here is to compound wealth. Like ideally, I want security. That's, you know what, I redo my answer. My deepest fear is not, I guess not delivering on that security that like the business expects, my family expects, that I need, that I expect. Like being in a position, which is, it's ironic that I fear that so much, because like 6 years ago, I was basically living in my car. Like I didn't even have a checking account with any money. I had maybe $10 ever at best. My shit was overdrawn all the time, permanently. So like I was living in that version of poverty. So, and I was like, I survived, and realistically, like it would take a lot to end up back there. So what is it we're really most afraid of? You know what I mean? And maybe the answer, I don't know, is just that we're afraid to just be here right now and truly experience everything as it's happening. Because like when you think about it, you're just, a lot of people, at least me, I straddle the past and the future, and I piss on the present, right? Constantly living in what was, what could be, or what won't be. And I miss the point. And I think with trading, it forces you, no matter what you wish or what you want or what you've done, you have to be here right now, watching this as it's happening. Because what you think will happen doesn't matter, and what has happened in the past doesn't matter. It's what's happening right now, making the best decision you can with the information you have sitting right in front of you in this exact moment that will suit you and reach your goals. And like when we bring up that trading plan stuff, like that's really what we're talking about. Is like, what are your goals? Like, are you like 25 with a 6-figure paying job and no real responsibilities outside of yourself? Like you don't have kids, you're not married, you know, you own your own home, and you're like 20. That's unbelievable. Congratulations if you are. But you can take infinitely more risk than like I have 2 kids, another on the way. I have to think about college, paying for my house. Like I have other, right? Like you could take way more risk than I can. Way more. So my plan accounts for a certain amount of risk. Your plan might account for a lot more risk. So when we say that, that's what we're saying, guys, is to consider this in the perspective of your life. We've got, are those Micron earnings right now? You want to pop that up? Whoa. I don't know if that was options. Those are options clearing out. There she goes up. I think if this goes up, we could, I think we're going to see, I think we could see $54. Do I want to grab some shares? Do I want to grab some shares? Do I?
You
do I? I
Yes,
don't
you
know. Let's see. Yeah, why not, dude? Let's grab some shares at like 50.
Do it.
if they'll even fill. I don't know. I can't tell if this is like options clearing out or if these are actually happening. Extended hours, yes. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, 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 come on. Oh no.
Maybe get like a dip and then rip again. Let's see. Nice dip to like
No, when I
46
bought that
bucks.
Palantir, I ate up all my buying power.
Oh yeah, you bought Palantir? Insider buying going on?
What?
How much do you own of Palantir now? 3% of the company?
Let's go look, dude. Depressing, but like it came back. Like, dude, I bought some this morning. I mean, it was down to $6. Like, maybe I'm an idiot. I don't know. But I just feel like we're getting to the point of like, this is, come on now. You know what I mean? We're down to 6.
Silly. Yeah,
I'm
silly, but it's all these analysts.
like, it's make or break for me here, right? Because like my average right now is like 673. So right now I'm like basically break even. If we go lower, I'm done. I'm taking the lumps and I'm done. But I do think 6 will be a nice bounce. You saw decent buying come in here. RSI divergence, that's always good. Right?
Absolutely.
Right? So that's that. What happened to MU? Where'd it go? So how's she doing? 51.
It's up about 1%.
Yep, that was the buy, man. 50. $50.50.
I did put a little call out in the Discord for earnings.
Let's see her keep. Oh, you did do it?
Yeah, I did.
Options?
Yep.
That's the thing, is will it hold?
Supposedly they missed earnings.
They missed.
Yeah, but we know when they miss, it blasts off. So
just like when analysts lower the targets the week before, they blast every time.
It takes a while to follow what they're doing, but once we get there, right, we definitely can play into that. That's for sure.
You're on a little heater with those every time they would lower.
Why is this echoing?
No echo here, Nikki.
Yeah, I don't hear an echo.
No, it's good. Sorry.
And it should come back down.
Mm-hmm.
$41. Bring it down.
Oh, I'll be loading up at that price.
Yeah.
What other earnings are coming up?
I think paychecks.
Paycheck and then
CarMax.
Yeah.
Let's hope they burn. If you're listening to this, Aspen, I think that's the chick's name. They're just terrible, dude. Now I owe the IRS like $2,000 in penalties because they didn't file something right. Why do I got to pay that? It's madness. It's their whole job. You had one job. Dicks.
Mm-hmm.
Can't stand them.
Well, I do believe I'm going to bow out of here, folks, and let you have at your big boy stocks. I'm going to go.
Final thoughts, John. What's the OTC stock that's going to make me a billionaire?
Anybody going bankrupt?
Voyager.
Is Voyager trading on OTC? Is it stock?
It's OTC, yeah.
Pink sheet?
Voyager, Revlon. Revlon just got a restructuring agreement 2 days ago. You can expect them to start growing again.
And that's like Revlon, the like skincare, hair care.
Cosmetic, yeah, the $1 billion brand. That's right.
Whoa. Wow,
So,
that's crazy.
And like I said earlier, I know it's a penny stock real cheap, but SIRC, SIRC, it's an American-made company. They make solar panels, install them, sell them for EV charging, power storage, roofing. I think they're at 9 or 10 cents right now. They've been falling hard. They did 84 million last year, and right now they're at 150 million and still got the last quarter to throw onto that. So I'm expecting that to be a long hold. I wouldn't play it as a day trade by any means, but I think it's definitely worth looking at, being American made and green energy. I think it's in the right place right now.
Do you think they'll get money in that infrastructure bill?
It's very possible. I mean, this is one of the biggest solar companies in America. They almost bought their own lithium mine, but the investors were quite upset about that. Saw a conflict of interest from selling green energy and then mining the earth and ripping out the minerals they needed. So they didn't go that direction.
Wow, this thing surged to $3 in 2021, January, February.
Yeah, that was back before they had all the money.
Wow, interesting.
So they have been on a chronic downtrend right now. They're looking for a breakout. I'm sure economics and global circumstances have a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I wonder how they'll function from a cash.
And being on the OTC isn't helping either. They're dire for share volume right now. They're just dying.
Really, just no liquidity?
No. God, we haven't had liquidity since the stimulus check of February 21. We've been on a downhill run, and it has not come back. We're doing about 5 billion shares a day. That's it. For 12,000 stocks, 5 billion shares.
What's that dollar value?
Dollar value, we've been running at about 1.5 billion.
Wow. That's not a lot.
Yeah. It's been
Total
pathetic.
market.
Trades are around 250, 280,000 trades a day.
Wow.
Yeah, when you divide that up amongst all the stocks, there's not a lot to go around. So only a few stocks each day are really grabbing the lion's share of trades, and they're the ones we're concentrating on. And really, most of them are bad news. Delistings, coming off the NASDAQ, bankruptcies, coming off of the expert, coming off of the CE, caveat emptors. Those, we just had one the other day, 1,700% gains in one day. It fell back to 582. And then the next day it grabbed another 100 and something percent. So the bad news stocks are doing the absolute best right now, which is contrary to how we normally trade, but you got to go where the money's at. And that's where the plays have been.
Right. All right.
All right, guys, it's been fun. I will talk to you the next time we get together. See you.
See you, buddy.
That sounds good.
So,
yes, how would you like to close it out?
with one more, what's everyone's opinion on the Baba?
Baba.
Baba.
Let's take a look.
Taylor, what you got in that tank?
Say what? Oh,
What you got in that tank?
I actually don't know exactly. Hang on, I'll figure it out.
Okay. Is it fish or is it reptiles?
No, it's fish.
Oh. You don't have to look up and I was just wondering if it was fish or reptiles.
Oh no, I was just gonna text my fiance and see what he says.
All right, Baba. Yeah, I mean, it hit a low of 58 towards the end of October. Kind of been trending up since then, and that's kind of running in line with news of COVID, China loosening their COVID restrictions because you know they started that back up. Even when Baba was around 125, China had some more COVID scares, and they were locking people in their houses again, and all that. And China markets in general have been rebounding. Baba, right here, nice uptrend. With the COVID restrictions easing over there in China. So, you know, definitely lots of upside with Baba. We'll go to the weekly chart like you like.
Where are institutions acquiring this, if any? That's the question.
Oh, yeah.
I got an answer for you to that, man.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
I think what you have to do here for Baba is come down and hold a higher low at around. You can't fall lower than 72, but really I want to see a bounce at 77, 78. I want to hold there, keep previous support levels there as support, and then make that new high. Short term, I wouldn't be able to be bullish on this unless you break over $95 and actually immediately turn it into support. I think it would make more sense to look at the downside here. Probably $10 down from here is where I think that institutions will buy.
Down to 75.
75. I got an area. This my 618 here is 72, and then my 0.5 FIP is around 77. So I would say anywhere within that 77 to 72 range is acquiring mode. And if it loses that, you get out, because then you're gonna come down. Next target to the downside, $35 if it really gets ugly.
Yes. I like that. I like down to 75 as well. Interesting.
Interesting.
So that's a watch list and wait. And I agree with that too. Like I'd like to see realistic like $96, $97 strong. Strong.
We like strong.
But yeah.
Nobody else got anything they want to add, or
Corn.
Yeah. Corn.
My single best, in my opinion, this is the best idea I had, I think, in the last year. I think this is like the most practical, well thought out pick I had in a long time. It was buy at 15, 16, trading at 26 now, when as high as 30, you doubled your money, and she's still going.
Now,
Commodities are not, this is an unchanging thing. I think we got 6 to 10 years left of commodities prices up. I mean, basically, this is a great counterinflation. It's a beautiful counterinflation play. I love it personally, and I think it was one of the smartest ideas I've had. For those of you that missed it, realistically, I think anything above $22 is you're fine. Below 22, I would really like tread lightly. I think if you could buy 24, 25 and stay above 22, you're easily going to see, I think $35 is not too far off the right. I think we're going to go back and try to retest, like, because you got that channel right there above 35. You basically got range 35 to 43.
What's the ticker on that?
Corn.
CORN.
Securium Corn ETF.
All right, here we go. Okay. Yeah,
like
I
ideally, you
those.
want exposure across commodities, but like if you're just looking to kind of be a little treat this a little more simply, this is a great ETF that kind of covers your bases. Ideally, you want to have a little corn, a little soybean. Like you just want to cover your bases with commodities. A little oil, a little corn, a little soy,
A little bit of soy.
Invest in America.
Yeah, there we go.
Just kidding. But in all honesty, I think these are playing out. And like, this is the beauty, is like, from a fundamental business perspective, just makes sense. From the advisory perspective, advisors love it, right? So like, number one, knowing that advisors are pushing this means that they're probably paying somebody something. Fine.
Sure.
That's marketing. It means that they'll grow. But beyond that, like I had a very good friend recently passed, actually. He was down at the CBOE, he's a commodities guy. And we were just talking about the 10 years on all of the commodities futures. And he was saying, like, there's no way this slows down for the next 5. He goes, maybe after, but for the next 5, commodities are where it's at.
Yeah.
All his bets were to the upside. And this is a guy he's traded commodities for 35 years. So he's the guy. And then beyond that, my Faja, he works in this industry, and I get to hear from him all of the struggles and pitfalls of their business being dependent upon the commodities market to function, and how essentially producers have not even seen the cost hikes across the board that would reflect in their bottom lines and raise the price of all these instruments. He doesn't even think that we're halfway there to those prices being reflected in the general markets across commodities, which like that means that we've got significant upside. What that means basically is like distributors have started to raise their prices, and producers, it's a chain, right? Like they as producers can only raise their price a certain amount every quarter. They have to justify the expense before they can get the price increase, right? So if they go to Walmart and they say, hey, it's costing us this much more to make this, you got to pay us this much more, they're a quarter removed, right? So all of the distributors, they gouge, right? Walmart will just jack their prices up, not care at all, because they know that quarter they are gonna perform. They're getting under cost goods. selling them at a premium, right? So this is blame stores for everything being inflated. Those prices have not been passed up the chain yet. That's just corporate greed. They are just beating us down on pricing at the distribution end to try and make more money because they know that producers are going to be able to legally raise their prices over the next 4 successive quarters, which means that their margins are going to shrink, or they just jack their prices up exponentially higher and everything sucks for everyone.
Right.
But for these underlying instruments, such as corn, we haven't seen, in my opinion, a lot of this price increase reflected across these earnings enough so that this is going to inflate in value. I mean, it has an anticipation, but now it's driven by a fundamental increase, which is even better. So 5 years, we expect it to go up, and we also expect 5 years of padded earnings to justify it going up, which means we trade this for another 2-3 years. We should see pretty significant growth, ideally another 30 to 50% upside from here. So if you got in from the original alert, we're talking $15-$16 on corn specifically. You're already up damn near 100%. You should see another 50% increase. This is like a phenomenal position to take. And we want to make sure that you diversify across the board. Like imagine 40% of your account you swing, 40% long holds, 20% day trade, take your risk.
Yeah. Quench, look at my screen here. Look at this confluence we got going on here on corn.
Nice.
This is the price from 2012.
I'm saying it's going to 35.
Which was support. And then over here in 2014, it was resistance. This lines up perfectly here. Let me just draw that right there.
Yeah.
Bam. $35, and that's about 50% from where we're at now. So that's absolutely right. I love that.
Ready to pop too out of that consolidation it's in.
Yeah.
So you're
That looks
welcome.
Nice.
Corn.
I'm buying some corn right now. You convinced me. That looks
Ooh,
great. That
that's so
chart
good.
too.
Yeah. Price target $35.
Oh, you got nice
Long-term hold.
support. You got trend support here, so why not?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
On. God, they need to pay me. I just sold a bunch of corn. I should get some sort of commission for that.
No doubt.
So, Jeff Bezos, if you're watching and you're hiring.
That's right.
Peacock, if you're listening, change your picture to a corn picture. Now it's in my head. Hi, Lily. I see you there.
What else you guys got? We've been streaming for about 2 hours straight here. So that's just from the Power Hour stream.
Mm-hmm. We had some fun today.
What's your one pick? Lightning round. Jay, one pick, go.
Sorry, what was that?
One pick, lightning round.
One
Pick for a stock macro strategy.
That is MSTR.
Yes.
Yeah.
MicroStrategy. Boom. Nikki, one stock. Go. Pick it. Hurry. One pick. What's going to work? I'm putting my life savings in it, so let's go.
I think she said Ebon.
Oh, my God. All right. She's just ignoring me. Pass, Nikki. Amy.
PayPal.
PayPal.
Yeah, double bottom right here. My one pick for the next month. Yep, PayPal.
Benjamin.
I like the Google. Let's go.
I like that too.
I mentioned that earlier. I love it. Google at this price, I would be more than happy to start averaging into this. Better yet, selling some cash secured puts, maybe selling the $80 put and getting a $10 discount if I get assigned. I'm really liking that play. So $80 cash secured puts on Google. Let's go. Let's collect that premium, baby.
Sold me. I'm buying.
Mr. Slap.
Mr. SLP.
Oh, that's totally better. Thank you for mentioning that, Bull. I actually think that I would buy QQQ between probably like the 230s and 250s. I think around there. I think I definitely would start buying QQQ ETF. I'm gonna buy it.
Like it.
I'm gonna
Spy
buy
355.
Taylor.
I think Disney right around here, 85 to 87 ish.
Is Wangus. Oh yeah. Oh, interesting.
You a
Why
buyer?
is this not? I thought they brought that old balls guy back. I thought everyone
He's
would be like,
back.
"Oh, Disney!
Yeah.
Oh my god!"
It did. It
Wow.
had a spike. It had a spike to over. Didn't it go to over $100 on that
Yeah.
on that news? Yeah.
It gapped up and immediately
Way
came
back
down for like
Yeah.
2 weeks after.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
Patrice,
Hughes.
Yo.
one pick, make or break, right now.
It's
Right
gonna be
now.
foreign. Watch. Foreign stuff.
Carvana.
I gotta say, I'm still loving Amazon right now. I mean, I like Amazon.
Really bold choice.
I agree.
I'm a
I'm with you,
bold
bud.
man.
I'm with you.
No one likes my PayPal, so you guys are good.
And
I
PayPal.
don't like PayPal. I just think I think it's a crapshoot. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's because I don't trust myself anymore. Because I'm buying PayPal. I was buying it at like $75, thinking I'm the smartest person. There's no way. There's no way. I call my advisor. He's like, "Dude, look, you bought a lot already. Like, are you sure, man?" I'm like, "Dude, John, come on, listen, trust
hear ya.
me."
What about Square? You guys like Square?
I'm 15% underwater on Tesla. I feel you.
I like Square here better than PayPal.
Wow.
Papow.
Look,
I like
chart
that.
looks the same. Both charts look exactly the same. I mean, identical. Shit, they trade together.
I just like the ticker better and the name. I'm weird like that. I do think there's something to that, like SQ. It's just easier to look up. It's cleaner.
Right.
Square. It makes sense. Everybody knows what Square is.
I love Square. Love
Good
Square.
branding. And PayPal's
Oh, yeah.
too like nebulous. It's like that's the only thing is like I feel like it's harder to understand what they do for like the average base consumer.
Makes
right?
sense.
It's like, yeah, you send money, like they don't understand it. Square, it's like you swipe a card. We finance you. You swipe a
Right.
card.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. I got some Square terminals.
PayPal was in my head at the double bottom bounce right here, and I was like, "Ooh, it's turning green on the weekly." So, it's in my mind.
Yeah, that sell off on PayPal. Could be
Honestly,
coming soon.
I'm not touching. I don't like PayPal till above like 75. I want to see some actual uptrend first, but then I think we could go up to 100. We could break that first wick low at 75.
Yeah,
agree with
like
that
I like
too.
that analysis. Yeah, I agree.
Just looking at the technical side, that's about it. I don't really like the company either.
Why don't you pull up which one do I want to pick? Shit. NEX, Next Year Oil Field Solutions.
Which thoughts on that? They were trading at $1 2 years ago.
I'm interested.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested is what it is. So PE of 12.
I like that.
Yes, I like that a lot.
I like that a lot.
Most analyst ratings about 50% upside from here. Call median price target $12. Right? They're up 160% in the year.
I could see $12.
Right? And what there aren't like across the board, most things are down 30-40% in the year.
Yeah, totally.
Expected growth is pretty impressive.
Yeah,
2.8 billion in sales, $1 cash per share.
EPS is positive. I like seeing
That's
that.
what I'm saying. This is insiders have recently released shares to be given to institution, right? They own 80% of the company, which means that institutions recently made a significant cash injection.
Right.
I don't know what their cash balance is, but I imagine it's pretty favorable. And I don't know, man. I think it's right here. It's you got pretty significant resistance, call it $11. Yeah. Like getting over the hump at 1050 is going to be tough, but if it does, I think right here it's like this trade makes sense because it's like call it above 9, give or take.
Yeah, they got $250 million in cash and equivalents.
That's
so
what I'm
that's
saying, man.
That's a good amount.
You buy it here and you make sure it holds above 860.
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna say
890 above 890. Call it a position trade above 890. So goes below 890, you're done. It's over. Forget about it. Stays above 890. You aim for 12. That's that risk reward is favorable.
Yeah, that's a good one for sure.
Yeah, you're making that's
12.
3-1.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that 6-1? You're risking 60 cents to make $3.
Yeah, so 1 to 6, right?
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, I like that price target of $12 right there.
Interesting.
Tight stop loss.
Interesting.
890 area. I like it.
Sometimes I even convince myself I know what I'm doing. I just sold myself on that in the moment.
Well, nice little hammer candle on SPY. We'll see if it's a nice green hammer candle right there to close the day out.
All right, inverse, and then we'll wrap it up. Patrick, what's the one stock that a bunch of people are buying that you think they're idiots for buying? What's going to lose them money and they're wrong?
PayPal.
Oh, yeah. Woo!
No,
yeah.
Wait until you buy 500% on PayPal and you only show 350, Patty.
I like this.
Something that I think people are buying, but I think that they're wrong on AMC.
Ooh.
Blasted my mic. But wait, no. So were you serious about PayPal?
No, just messing around.
No, come on, give me a real one. AMC's too easy. That's a cop out.
Oh God,
everybody knows that's stupid. Come on.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at the volume. I mean, people are still funneling in nonstop.
No, man, that's the hedge funds, and they're
they got to cover their shorts.
All right, come on.
Table ladder chair match.
Yeah, come on. It's Ken Griffin. You know he's buying the share. All right, so for real, come on.
Rivian.
Oh. Interesting. Very interesting. Why so?
I think that they're very much we're riding like the EV hype. I think that they got a big boom very early on, right at around IPO time, because they were attached to Amazon. But we see very little of Amazon actually utilizing their their tech.
They are in my area.
Are they? I mean, I've seen them, but just very, 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 very rarely. I think that honestly, Ford is going to step up and take front and center as the EV space.
That's my boy.
What's that?
That's my boy. I agree.
Yeah, I think Rivian was just maybe even similar to like a Lucid, like a great idea, but just not.
Yeah, but the cars are out there on the road. You don't see them. I mean, I've seen the truck many times.
Yeah, I never see them.
I don't see no Lucid. I don't know where Lucid at, but I know they're down in the trash at $7.
This is what I was looking for. Go on.
No, go ahead. Lucid is trash. Lucid.
I agree, but I feel like that's kind of the route that Rivian was going. I think that everybody was excited for this Amazon deal, but I mean, how many things have we seen that people said, "Oh, it's going to be the Amazon's getting in on this"? I mean, I remember UAVS with the drone technology was one of them, and
oh my God, that was the best thing I ever heard.
What's that?
That UAVS thing. It made us a ton of money. So thank you to whoever started that rumor, because we rode that thing from like 30 cents to $12. So
and then it got it got shorted. It got killed. It got absolutely demolished afterwards. Which it was great riding it up and all the way down. And now I don't even is it even listed right now?
Probably on OTC. Probably on the OTC market.
All right, Taylor. What's a stock that people are dumb for buying?
I'm just thinking
Kramer,
something that was. I don't think Peloton is coming back anytime soon. I think that I haven't even looked at that lately, but every time I look at it, it's just down. Even on today, where it was kind of green, it's still down another 5%. That thing's going down. You want to know
the best thing in the world that makes you want to just die every day? That when it was trading at $170, maybe 165.
Oh, yeah.
I bought $50 puts for January 2023. I held them for 4 months. They're up 500%. I said, "There's no way. I got to sell them." They're up 12,000%.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Damn it. Same with those Roku puts. Sold those.
I remember your Roku
firm
puts.
Yeah.
I made so much money on those Roku puts when you put them out, Quench. I remember those. Like perfect timing. Like to
Everybody
the day.
thought I was crazy.
But no one thought that it was going to come down this low. That's the
I
thing,
did. Those
right?
were 150.
This is a lot of stocks though that we
At
well,
it was at
there,
450.
sure.
I said
was-
150.
Do you think Roku was going to see $40?
I was over 150 puts.
Yeah, from 400, that's fine. But
Nailed
$40, we're at $40
Nailed
now.
it.
Nailed it. Next, Mr. Slap.
I honestly think that the one that people are buying that they're just mad to buy right now is that MDGL. I mean, I tried to short that. I made some money on it, but that is just stupid. Have a look at that one. MDGL.
Yeah, I got it pulled up on the screen.
Get out of here. They're like past some kind of liver trial, but they make no money. They have like 20 million
They have no
in cash.
income.
I mean, come on.
No.
Stupid. Stop buying down here. It's time to short. Bring it back down.
They've been burning money for the past 5 years. Getting worse
Do
and
it.
worse for them.
That's your next 12,000% to the downside right there.
There's literally-
Time to make that money back.
A stock that I do not like.
That people are stupid for buying. One that a lot of people like, but you think they're just dumb.
I hope no one's holding this, but I'm gonna have to go with eBay. You know, I've been looking at them lately, and unfortunately, especially on the quarterly basis, they're not even a profitable company right now.
Really?
Their net income is been in the negative
How?
for quite some time now. To be honest with you, they just can't compete with Amazon. Everyone's going to Amazon. There's a lot of people.
Bullshit now. Like it's just all reseller. It's
all reseller stuff on eBay, and there's a lot of
there's no
customer
P2P,
base.
There's no discount.
It's like a garage sale on the website.
It's a garage sale on the website.
No, I think it was better when it was a garage sale. It's not anymore though. It's all
It's like
these
a trash.
mid-market shit bags. Like it's the whole sneaker thing. It's
Another
some
thing
dick that's got a bot that's buying up all these shoes and artificially raising the price of a garbage product.
Yeah. Another thing that concerns me with eBay, and this is on the quarterly basis, their total assets have been on a steady decline quarter over quarter. That tells me they might be dismantling the company or something. I mean, they're literally selling off their assets to generate money or something. Total assets from Q3 2021 was 29 billion. They're only sitting on 19 billion. They've lost $10 billion in assets since Q3 of 2021. Declining total asset. We want to see this trending up, not trending down. So they're losing on their assets there. Don't really like that one bit. Couple that with the negative net income. eBay's not even a profitable company right now, and you can see the year over year net income just going to the dumpster fire here. I wouldn't go long on eBay, so that's my pick.
At this point, what's the difference between Etsy and eBay?
Yeah, exactly.
Like there is one.
eBay is like a glorified Craigslist or something now. I don't, and that's not saying a good thing.
Somehow, though.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to look at those earnings. Amy, what's yours?
I've got two. One's an extremely profitable company, but I think it's time for a little bit of sell-off, and that's Lockheed Martin. Every time it gets a certain little run to it, it pulls back to the 55 MA on the daily. It's getting ready to do that again. Not yet. I think we could cross over about 508, and then we're going to start coming down. I love the company. Don't get me wrong. I own a lot of shares in this company, but it's time to come down a little bit. And my second one is Tesla. It's still 700% above its price from after COVID. Last time I looked, it was PE like 75, something like that, crazy. And it's just the Elon hype is over. Now it's going to line with what the company's actually worth. I put a video out about this like 3 months ago about why I'm bearish on Tesla, and it's sold off ever since then. I think it comes down more. I think we go to double digits on this below 100. I really, truly do. I don't think it's done bleeding.
Yeah. Next up, low 130s, high 120s.
Yeah. It's just not there. The numbers don't add up. I don't know. That's just me personally. Elon made a catastrophic mistake when he went after Twitter. in my opinion, and it took away from Tesla and the notoriety.
Mm-hmm.
And Lockheed Martin has fantastic numbers, fantastic everything. It's just at a range now where it needs to pull back a little bit before it keeps pushing. I do think we break the all-time highs again. I think we break that 500 mark, but I think once we start breaking over that, we could touch the 470s, 460s again.
Yeah, I agree with that, Amy. And just looking at the monthly chart, the month of October was a pretty great month for Lockheed Martin. And now these past 2 months, the monthly candles are just they're doji candles. This is a clear sign of a reversal right here. The buying pressure is kind of getting depleted here. So
this is one we hit a home run on when we did those election stocks. This
we
thing
did
like 20% on the equity side just from that push.
Yeah,
so that was a nice one.
My arrows are still here from when I drew when we made that video. These are all old drawings here. These were my levels to the upside and blasted right through it. That was great.
And I'm starting to lean bearish a little on some of the oil too.
What stock are people dumb for buying?
Let's see if I'm not muted in Discord. Well, it's difficult to
the world. Sorry.
I was going to say, first and foremost, not to pick your choice there, Amy, but Tesla, I'm looking at definitely around 105 for sure. I also don't like Meta. I think Meta 50% down from here. Give me that $65 on Meta. There's a lot of things that are against resistance. Nike is also looking like a good short to me here. But yeah, overall, these companies might do well in the future, but day to day, all these charts are looking very bearish to me. Like same thing here with Nike. What is that? Same thing with Meta. Scam gap up to 100 and then a run. No. Get that back down.
I'm with you on Tesla. I'd say between 95 and 110.
It's a big head and shoulders pattern on the daily time frame, apart from any news, any events that has a breakdown target to the hundreds there.
Well, look at the monthly. It's abysmal. It's a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. Looks like an AMC GME chart. Ugly. Bad.
I personally wouldn't short it from here because then you're chasing a big red candle, but retracements to the upside are probably for coming down again.
Yep.
Yeah. So instead of shorting it, just have a little patience and then wait for it to come down.
Yeah.
Instead of chasing the short, just have patience.
Yeah, you're way too late if you're shorting here. You're basically, all people are making money already on that. You're late to that party. You just got to wait for the next one.
Yeah, totally agree on that.
All right. Beautiful.
Rock and roll, hooch kill.
Okay, sounds good, everybody. That was a good way to close it out, I think.
Yeah.
Quench, you got anything left, or we're good here? Okay, cool. Well,
y'all, thanks. Thanks for joining the open house, everybody. If you're not part of our Discord, hit us up. We're going to have a little special holiday offer for you guys. Feel free to either DM OG Nikki, Mr. SLP, or Amajama, and we will get you set up in the Discord. If you are a member, we also have some special holiday savings for you guys. Thank you so much for today. It was awesome. Every stream was jam-packed and filled. We really, truly appreciate it. We love you guys, and this is fun for us. We love what we do. So that's my spiel I got.
Stay blessed now. Bye.
Stay blessed, everybody.
Bye. That was great.
Cheers.
See you later, alligator.